just to mention this as well, first two episodes of Titans Part 2 has been released for season 4.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have to I have to watch that too. Well, here's the first main article that I had for the show, which is it's kind of interesting if this happens, and this is from Screen Rant, and we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, not Volume 3, but 2.0.
Wait, what?
2.0 of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, the future of Guardians of the Galaxy. So let me bring up this article where it's gonna go from here. This is I do see this happening if Adam Warlock takes off. Adam Warlock's MCU intro could set up new Guardians of the Galaxy team. Adam Warlock is finally making his live-action debut in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, possibly setting up the next iteration of the spacefaring team. So this may be like a handoff movie to Adam Warlock and potentially Groot. You know, what do you think of this potential for the next version of Guardians of the Galaxy? Because you do think they'll continue, right? I think they're going to continue.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will try because money, and these characters are still beloved. I'm sure. I forget the actor's name who's playing Adam Warlock. But I'm sure he's going to be great in the movie as well. I personally, I'm good. I'm just going to have a hard time being as invested as I was when James Gunn was writing these characters because he had something special with those Guardians films that felt so different from everything else. Like it's gonna be. I'm so excited for Guardians 3, but part of me feels like kind of sad because it's gonna feel like the end of an era. With that being his last Guardians movie, his last Marvel film. So I don't know. Like whoever's gonna come in and take over with these characters, I hope they'll do well, but no one can replace James Gunn. Yeah.
Well, I was kind of thinking, can anyone replace James Gunn? Because I was thinking this, and this might be off the wall, and I might get cringes for this. I don't hate Taika Waititi. I have some issues with Taika Waititi. He's hit or miss for me, but this property kind of seems like what he was trying to do with Thor anyway. Would Taika Waititi be good for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4? I know people like his Star Wars, but this is like a group of misfit characters.
Yeah.
And I think it would actually be a good fit for Taika Waititi. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, this is right up his alley. I mean, going back to, if you see Taika's, I think it was his first movie, not the TV show, the movie, What We Do in the Shadows. It's an amazing ensemble, kooky cast show. And if you haven't seen that film, go ahead and watch it. Do yourself a favor. So, yeah, he'd be good at this genre or this group.
Yeah. What do you think, Talati? And we'll get the Alan Bruce for after that.
Yeah, you go
ahead. The way I see it is I wouldn't mind Adam Warlock actually, being a part of the Guardians, in terms of what's it called, Guardians 4, and kind of starting a new Guardians. That's what we should call it.
Yeah.
New Guardians.
Callie.
That's my train of thought.
Thanks, Callie.
Thor 4 was super phoned in figure drawing. You're right about that. I agree.
Yeah. Senior Nerd wants to come on. Should I?
Yeah, you could send him a link. You could send him a link if he wants. All right, DL, what do you think? Taika Waititi, are you a critic of Taika Waititi? Do you think he could potentially not fill Gunn's shoes, but do well by the property? Is this the type of property for Taika?
Well, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Taika Waititi with his Marvel stuff. I mean, I am a fan of his. I have liked his other things. Star Wars, for example, he did great with that, and I am still interested in his Star Wars movie whenever that comes out. But I mean, I knew that what people were I knew people were gonna say him first as far as him filling the shoes of James Gunn, which I understand because like that's what they were trying to do with Thor, and technically he did already like work with the Guardians before. Um, and if anyone, I guess, could be close to reaching the spirit of James Gunn, it might be him. But I fully don't. I fully don't feel it with him yet because, well, for one thing, I don't even. I think he even said that he didn't even want to direct the Guardians. Um, when James Gunn left, when they were asking him, "Would you take over with for the Guardians films?" He was like, "No, I'm not doing that. That's James Gunn's thing." But
Things have
Oh
changed.
wow, they
So, yeah.
asked him that. I didn't know. Wow.
yeah, yeah. But I think with Taika, honestly, I don't feel like he has that. I know people probably disagree with me because Taika's award-winning director, blah 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 blah. But for me, I don't think that Taika fully captured the heart of what the Guardians are supposed to have. Yes, he can do the witty humor and the campiness, but like there was like a very special essence of heart and like you know compassion that he put with those characters on top of the humor. And I feel like with Taika, I feel like his humor with the Marvel films specifically is it's a little too much, you know,
Mhm.
because like James, while he has his crazy humor too, he doesn't let that he doesn't overshadow that with the character moments, with the emotional moments. He doesn't compromise the powerful emotional beats with the humor, and I feel like Taika does that a little bit more. So he, Taika needs to wind that down a little bit more and like get to keep the serious moments with the Guardians if he's going to take it over. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he takes it. Just don't be too over the top like he did with Thor. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Brucifer, Voltaire, and then Senior Nerd. What do you think? Taika Waititi for Guardians Volume 4 or Guardians 2.0?
Uh, uh,
Do you think of anyone better to try if they do? If they
how about
do,
just in the franchise?
well, I think if
That
you
works for me.
introduce new characters, it'd be cool to have these out there. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a cool group. You know,
Uh,
um,
but
Yeah,
here's
there's
what I
been
say.
many iterations of the Guardians
yeah.
Mm.
without the main cast, but Guardians isn't really like a top tier team. You know,
No, but they're fun. They've become one of the highest acclaimed MCU groups besides the Avengers. You know.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah. What do you
I
mean?
mean,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But
yeah,
Matt,
I, I,
that's
ba-
a
I
The,
base
the,
I base
the
I
movie
base
the
my
mo-
stuff on how many comic books are these some of these movies are selling.
no,
but
Nobody buys
that's
Guardians of
not
the
fair to
Galaxy.
MCU. The MCU is a different medium. They're more they're more relevant in the MCU than they are in the comics. You know.
but, but
Well,
Max, you,
when the first movie came out, they totally added these characters to the comic and made the team.
Okay.
Before this movie came out, it was a totally different team.
Okay.
So it
Fair.
never caught on.
I think if this third one gets to a billion, they're definitely going to make another one.
Mhm.
I mean, it's always money for me. That's I'm like, well, if it gets to a billion, they'll make another one.
but
What
you,
do you think?
but you know, but you know what needs a movie?
What?
The Ravengers
Ooh, yeah.
with Sylvester Stallone, because I think, having Sylvester Stallone star power with the Ravengers makes total sense, and it would definitely, obviously it's kind of like Guardians, but it's like a spin-off thing, and it could work, you know?
hmm
Like, how would you guys feel about that?
I would love that too. I would love any continuation, anything they decide to do. I would like to see. I would like to see this universe of characters move forward without Gun too, in some way. I'd like to see someone else use these group of characters, a stable of characters, another director too. Voltaire, were you want to say anything about what you think they could do if they continue Guardians of the Galaxy?
I feel like it would be more for Disney Plus than cinematic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if taking it over
Yeah.
to without Chris Pratt and all that, and without James Gunn. I think they'd be better off trying to keep it on TV initially at first anyway. And I hope to God they stop paying Vince Vaughn for Groot's voice. Jeez.
You mean Vin Diesel?
Oh, sorry, Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Yeah. Kelly, get over here.
I mean, that's got to be the easiest paycheck in the business.
I think they should just continue Guardians as an animated show.
I think I like the TV show angle because that would be different. That would be significant. Guardians of the Galaxy on Disney Plus. That would be great.
I'm surprised they haven't done an animated show already.
Oh, they did. It was on Disney XD.
After season, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Jeez.
Although the film's early trailers have suggested Adam Warlock will play an antagonistic role in his first appearance, his heroic turn is inevitable, signaling his future as a major leader in the ever-expanding world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The next iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy team is imminent following their upcoming film, especially given the real-world events surrounding the sequel's production. After being fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, director James Gunn eventually returned to finish the movie, but was quite clear that it would be his last contribution in the franchise, conceived as the final installment for his iteration of the Guardians team. The sequel will feature the final farewell for certain beloved characters. However, Marvel has hinted the emergence of a new lineup of Guardians in the near future, with fresh faces leading the team.
Wow.
So, I think
I really hate the way Adam Warlock looks
in the trailer. I mean, that's how he's supposed to look in the comic. He does look kind of cooler there. I almost kind of wish they could do something with his eyes to make him white it out and in the black eyeliner type of thing. That would be kind of cool. I don't know how they could do that in live action though. It's something that looks really cool in comics, but how do you do that?
They do it in horror movies all the time.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
they've done people with no pupils before. I'm sure that'd be easy to do. It's off-putting though. Like they made his like race all gold though, so they had to stick with that aesthetic. But
And there's no Infinity Stone there. That's weird.
Yeah, he should have been. He should have been there before Endgame. Like he should have been there, but no.
What do you think, Senior Nerd?
But what?
About Adam Warlock.
Oh, he was cool.
I hope it's cool.
I think from what I heard, he's an adult. He's full grown, but like he has a mind of an infant. So he's gonna act I think there'll be some performance where people will be like, "This is cool," and some people be like, "This is bad." I feel like that's what I read about how they're gonna portray Adam Warlock in the movie.
I thought this Guardians topic didn't get a lot of viewers today. 15 viewers. I appreciate people that are here though.
Also,
Make you get those likes up, guys.
Yeah.
Also, Taika Waititi as Guardians, that's not original. That's
You don't like that idea, Senior Nerd?
I think I know. It's just like I also give it to someone. He should be handpicked by Gunn because that's his franchise. So it should be like Gunn should be, if they're gonna do number 4, it should be someone that James pick. They could continue.
Does it have to be James though?
I mean, it's pretty much.
If he's moving on, why does he have to be involved at all? I mean, he's done